7 million years ago. When the sun sank below the horizon and the desert exhaled the heat of the day, a different world awakened. The daylight desert looked empty and lifeless, a land of stone, sand, and silence. But when darkness spread across the dunes, the desert transformed into a hunting ground ruled not by claws or teeth, but by stingers. This was an age when giant scorpions ruled the night, and every creature that moved after sunset lived under the shadow of venom. As the sky faded from orange to deep purple, temperatures dropped rapidly. Rocks that had burned under the sun now cooled, releasing warmth into the air. This shift was the signal the scorpions waited for. Beneath the sand, inside cracks in ancient rock, and deep within abandoned burrows, enormous scorpions began to stir. These were not the small creatures we know today. Some stretched over a meter long, their armored bodies thick and powerful, their pincers strong enough to crush bone, their tails arched like loaded weapons. During the day, these titans remained hidden. The desert sun was too brutal, too dangerous even for them, but night belonged to the scorpions. The first to emerge were the hunters of patience. One massive scorpion crawled from beneath a slab of sandstone, its legs moving slowly, deliberately, leaving faint tracks in the dust. Its body absorbed the remaining heat from the ground, fueling its muscles. Its eyes adapted to darkness, reflected faint starlight, but vision was not its greatest weapon. It hunted through vibration. Every footstep, every movement, every breath taken by another creature sent signals through the sand, painting a living map in the scorpion's nervous system. Nearby, an early mammal emerged from its burrow. It was a small, fox-sized creature, covered in coarse fur, its nose twitching as it searched for insects and roots. During the day, it hid underground to escape the heat and predators. Night was its chance to feed, but the darkness offered no safety. As it moved cautiously across the sand, the ground beneath it betrayed its presence. The scorpion froze. It felt the mammal's steps like distant drum beats. Slowly, it rotated its body, aligning itself with the vibration source. Its tail lifted slightly, stinger poised. The mammal paused, sensing danger, but unable to see it. The desert was silent except for the soft whisper of wind over dunes. Then the scorpion struck. With explosive speed, it surged forward, its pincers snapping shut around the mammal's hind leg. The mammal screamed and tried to break free, kicking sand into the air. For a brief moment, it almost escaped. But the scorpion's tail came down in a perfect arc. The stinger pierced flesh, delivering venom evolved to shut down muscles and nervous systems in seconds. The mammal collapsed, paralyzed, its cries fading into the night. The scorpion dragged its prey away, disappearing into the darkness. By morning, no trace would remain. Across the desert, similar scenes played out again and again. The night was a battlefield invisible to the sun. Early rodents, insectivores, and primitive grazers learned to fear the dark. Some adapted by becoming faster, darting from cover to cover. Others evolved thicker skin or stronger legs. A few learned to move in short bursts, pausing to sense vibrations of their own. Evolution was rewriting survival rules under the glow of ancient stars. But scorpions were not the only nocturnal predators. Early owls took to the sky, their wings silent. Small carnivorous mammals prowled the rocks, sniffing for weakness. Snakes slid between dunes, tasting the air with flicking tongues. Competition was fierce. Yet the giant scorpions held an advantage no other predator possessed: absolute stillness. One scorpion buried itself just beneath the sand near a watering hole, leaving only the tip of its tail exposed like a thorn. Thirsty mammals approached cautiously, ears twitching. A young herbivore bent its head to drink. The water rippled. The scorpion felt everything. In a single violent eruption, it burst from the sand, grabbing the mammal's neck. Panic exploded through the herd as animals scattered into the darkness. The scorpion fed undisturbed, the water slowly turning muddy with disturbed silt. But even the rulers of the night faced danger. A young scorpion ventured too far from its hiding place, drawn by movement near a rocky outcrop. It did not sense the silent approach of a large desert owl. The bird descended like a ghost, talons slamming into the scorpion's armored back. The scorpion lashed its tail wildly, stinger striking air, The owl struggled, wings beating violently, then released its grip, leaving the scorpion injured but alive. The message was clear: even kings could bleed. As the moon rose higher, the desert grew colder. Shadows stretched long across the sand. A rare event unfolded. Multiple giant scorpions emerged at once, drawn by the abundance of prey. Their paths crossed and tension filled the air. Scorpions were solitary by nature. When two titans met, the night held its breath. They raised their bodies high, pincers wide, tails arched. Each sensed the other's size, strength, and intent. A fight could mean death for both. Slowly, one backed away, disappearing into the dunes. Dominance was maintained without battle. Energy was too precious to waste. Far from the dunes, a group of early primates watched the desert from the safety of elevated rocks. They had learned not to descend at night. Their wide eyes reflected fear passed down through generations. The darkness below was alive with invisible killers. A single mistake could mean a sting in the shadows. Their survival depended on waiting for daylight, when the scorpions retreated underground and the balance of power shifted. As dawn approached, the stars faded and the sky lightened. The desert began to warm once more. One by one, the scorpions vanished back into their shelters. Beneath sand, beneath stone, beneath time itself, they returned to stillness. The night's violence left no monuments, no bones piled high, only absence. Over thousands of years, the world changed. Deserts expanded, climate shifted, new predators emerged. Mammals grew smarter, faster, more alert. Birds refined their hunting skills. Snakes became deadlier. The age of giant scorpions slowly faded. Their descendants shrank in size, adapting to a world that no longer favored massive arthropods. Yet the memory of that ancient night still lives on. In the instinctive fear mammals feel after dark, it's in the way creatures pause, listening to the ground beneath them. In the ancient caution that whispers that darkness is never empty. 7 million years ago, the desert belonged to the night, and the night belonged to the scorpion silent rulers, whose power was measured not in roars or speed, but in patience, venom, and the terror of what could not be seen.